What's up, my good people? Welcome to the Human Spectrum, and thank you again for joining me. Today is Monday, the 9th of December, and I have an excellent clip to show you, courtesy of Scanner Guy 1968. And if you haven't been to his channel yet, check it out. It's worth checking out. He has a great camera setup, and in this particular clip, he's using a Sony A7-S times 64, so he speeds it up on this video. And the reason why I want to show you this video is because it's not something that comes from the media. It's not something that comes from someone's cell phone. This is a camera that he actually set up on a tripod at night, and based on the foliage that I see, and he does a good job of giving us background images on cars and buildings later on in this clip. But what's important is that he's got a professional camera with a low light filter on there, and he does an excellent job of recording this. And of course he speeds it up for the sake of time. But I'm gonna put my image in the corner so we can both watch what's going on in this video clip. And then on the back side of this clip, we're going to discuss a few things that I found out regarding the investigations that are going on for these New York, New Jersey drones and many other places. And yeah, we'll do that. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip, and we're going to do this without doing any cutting or anything, and I'm going to share my my screen with you guys. So let's go ahead and do that. No, let's bring myself back in there, and I'm just going to bring myself down to the corner here, and we're going to bring up this video. So the first thing you're going to see in this video is a couple of big red letters explaining to you what's going on. Footage was sped up 64 times, straight out of the Sony low light camera, which I did say is a Sony A7-S camera, and he's got the low light filter on there, which is excellent and not a cheap camera. But that filter is excellent for capturing things that, again, that the human spectrum of the eye cannot always see. So the camera is seeing it, but people driving by or walking by are not seeing it unless they're seeing actual FAA craft, regulated crafts flying in the sky. And you will see that, and I will point them out, the difference between the UAPs and the FAA regulated crafts. So but this is going to be stunning, so let's continue. Now the first thing you're going to think of, is there an airport over here? Now I think Scanner Guy 1968 would have emphasized the fact that there was an airport over there or not, but this does not show me that there's an airport here, because first of all, you can see them coming up out of this area, which I'm going to say is about a mile or a mile and a half wide. Based on this reference, he's zooming in, and this is stuff that we're not able to see with our eyes. Remember, he's got a low light filter on a Sony A7-S camera, and this is what he's seeing. Now if you pay close attention, a lot of these are just going into what appears to be, in my opinion, space. They seem to be, I mean, yes, they'll go across the screen and disappear, and who knows how far they go. Maybe they're going somewhere else to hover or whatever they're going to do. But a lot of them that you see launch, some are faster than others, some are slow. I mean, I can actually slow this down a little bit. And it's not like they're doing any hyper speeds or anything, but that's not the point. The point is, they're being captured when our eyes cannot capture it within our spectrum. So this is happening possibly over your area, my area, but based on the foliage, which is what I was talking about here, I don't see any leaves on the tree, so I believe this is somewhere in northern North America, either in the northern United States or southern Canada. I'm going to check with Scanner Guy and find out exactly what this location was and get back to you on it. But nonetheless, you can see the non-stop activity, and it does appear to be coming from a 1.5 mile radius is what I'm estimating, maybe more based on this one here. Could be 2 miles wide, where are they coming from, and most importantly, where are they going? So I'm going to put it back on the regular speed, which is times 64 for the sake of the video. And then you're going to see some FAA regulated aircraft coming into the picture in a little bit. Just look at the amount of these things. I'm calling them UAPs because I certainly can't identify these. They are sped up. Now here's an example of an FAA regulated craft. And they do their best to stay out of each other's way. These things, if you notice, when they came up and still coming up, they get close to each other sometimes. And how they do that, I don't know. Maybe there's a longer distance between them and I just don't notice it. He speeds it up here to show you aircraft, the difference between aircraft and UAP. And here we go, he slows it down again. And here's an aircraft. And these are UAP that seem to go past the cloud and just up. This is amazing stuff. Here's another aircraft. And he's going to zoom out to show you the aircraft going by and give you a wider picture, which I think is great. He's adjusting it for a wider lens picture, or scene, I should say. So now, obviously, we can't see this with the naked eye, but if we were looking up at the same sky, if we're standing there and looking, we would have seen at least the aircraft. Then there's the question of when these drones do go over a certain area, whether they have an assignment, whether it's from an adversary, wherever. I mean, the question is, do they turn off their whatever it is that's making it so that we can only see this in a low light filter? Do they turn that off so they're seen? And why? But this is just, and there is another example of a regular aircraft. But this is just phenomenal. I've never seen so much going on. And when you have the proper camera and the proper filter, like Scanner Guy does here, this is what you can possibly see in your area. There's just an abundance of traffic. So it begs the question, here's another aircraft here, and here's another one here. And you can see there's a building over here. Appears to be colder outside. There's a lot of vapor and smoke coming from that building's exhaust or chimney. And here's a couple more toward the end. FAA aircraft, regulated aircraft, don't get that close. They just don't. And here's another aircraft, regular one. Here's another one here, and here's another one here. Now that's normal to see them that far apart. But this is just something else. Here's another one. Seems to be going up, kind of moving and turning at the same time if it has a light on the front of it. But look how it disappears. They come up, they seem to go up and disappear. Now I just want to play the beginning one more time, just to show you the amount of traffic he caught in the beginning. These are things that we are not seeing with our eyes. It's happening over our heads. He's got the camera and the low light filter to capture it. On the Sony A7-S camera, you can look that camera up. It's not the most expensive, it's not the cheapest. You just need to have the right filter on there and a good camera. Look at that. That's amazing. And they go right up at what appears to be space. I didn't see any blinking lights on that one. So I think you get the picture here. Look how close they are. Looks like one's coming down. See, I saw that one come down from up here. It just appeared around here and came down. There's another one that's going down. So a lot of people might speculate, forget about the low light filter on the Sony A7 camera. Is it an airport? Well, to me, this doesn't look like an airport. That's not airport activity. And if you think otherwise, leave a comment. But you can see how some shoot straight out even faster, same speed. Go back, you see them shooting out quick, like they're on a mission. Remember, they're not seeing, you cannot see this with the human eye, and look how fast they go right up to what appears to be way out in the atmosphere into space. There's another one, and another one coming from here. This stuff's amazing footage, and I just had to share it with you guys. So apparently we cannot see this with the naked eye, but this is what we're dealing with. So let me take this down, get myself back in the picture. All right, we're doing this in real time, so just be patient with me. All right, so that video clip, courtesy of Scanner Guy in 1968, he used a very good camera with a low light filter, like I said earlier, and he's capturing things that the human eye cannot capture. So we all know that our eyes can only capture so much of the spectrum. So you need a camera for that. You might have heard that that same phrase coming from Farsight's Institute. Those people that do the remote viewing that I showed you the other day. They use a special camera. I think it's even more expensive than that. I think it's like $3,000 for the camera, another $3,000 or $4,000 to put on special filters. And you can buy the camera at Best Buy, but you would have to send it. I believe they're based out of Atlanta. Send it there for the filters, and then they send it back to you, and then you just put it outside, and you're going to capture the same type of things. And you can use it during the day, obviously, because he says, the guy from Farsight there, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he says it just takes 10 minutes before you start to see something if you set it outside. So that's interesting, and he does show some of those images in his Instagram page. It's Farsight on Instagram. You can check that out. He does have some examples of his videos. You got to have the software to decompress it, and then all this other stuff he does. But it works because he does it at 120 frames per second, and then he's got to slow it down enough so that we can see it in the way we can. So with that said, I want to discuss the investigations. I have a source of someone that I used to work with in the government, and I had to ask, because everybody's talking about it, yet I'm not seeing it on mainstream media. So I heard that people are talking about, hey, we have FBI that are investigating this UAP or drone issue over New Jersey, New York, and these agents, they're saying these agents' homes are being inundated with drones. I mean, so I had to ask. And without confirmation, she said that she heard that there were two investigators that were investigating the original New Jersey incident based on the first NBC coverage on it. The first two FBI agents that went out there, this is just not for sure yet. I'm waiting for confirmation. This is unconfirmed, but from a source that's still active. They said that there was the two original investigators had this issue over their residences. So I'm going to find out if I can confirm that. She said she'll get back to me on it. If she can confirm that with me, then the best I can do is come back on here and say it is confirmed, without names and without compromising anything. The best I can probably say is yes, she did confirm it. Whether it was one or two or three or maybe more, but what she's hearing around her space and her realm right now at work is that there were two of them. So that's what I have as far as all this talk about, are the FBI being visited by drones at their own homes. That's the best I could get for right now. What I do know is that these drones that are car size are larger, and now I see some reports of fixed wing. and people saying that they come from the Galactic Federation and all this other stuff. I don't know if that's true, although based on Paul Hellyer, who used to be the defense minister of Canada, and another Israeli professor who was once in the government, both saying that apparently we've been part of a, not us, but our governments have been part of a galactic federation, I think he said, going on 40 plus years. And these are individuals who are, you know, they're not someone that would just say that for the hell of it unless they were told to say it. And if that's the case, then obviously it's propaganda, possibly connected to psyops. But you got two people saying it from two different parts of the world, one from the Middle East and one from Canada. This was said years ago, but you can go on YouTube and look up Paul Hellyer and maybe put in speaking or talking about the Galactic Federation. You'll find it right on YouTube, the second largest search engine. So I'm sure you'll find it there. But I don't know if it has to do with that. I have no idea what's going on with this Federation thing or Prime Directive. Who knows if it's true? It's possible. I never throw it out and say, no, it's never possible. Because if there is a Prime Directive, then there is one. And the Prime Directive is basically, there's a lot more going on in space, possibly other worlds, and we're stuck here. And if they have to come here and do any kind of work, they have to blend in with us. Let's, for example, kind of like the Star Trek stuff, where they would go back into the 30s to resolve a problem, and they have to dress the part. So, and they can't show their uniforms or their specialized electronics and technology and etc. That's the Prime Directive. So, as not to spook people. So, I don't know. The only thing I can tell you is that it's still going on. Some of these UAPs we can still see with our own eyes. But when you look at this clip that I just showed you, and think about the filter on there, how we're not seeing that with our naked eye. Imagine all the activity that's happening. You can't tell me that the government doesn't know. Because if a civilian can get a camera like that and put a low light filter on there and capture that stuff that his naked eye cannot see, not yours, not mine, then obviously the government has 20 times, 50 times better equipment to see that stuff with, and probably sharper, and who knows. I mean, I just think they know more than what they let on, and there's probably a reason for that. But listen, I don't think we should be stuck on fossil fuels for another 50 years. It's already been proven. Civilians have made these little boxes that can give you endless electricity for your cars or your homes without plugging into a grid that taps off of wind turbines or fossil fuel or solar panels or nuclear. I think the fact that we do have that, and we need to open source that, which I heard that Dr. Greer was going to do. That would be great, because I agree with him on this, is that if we do come up with something that can give us electricity, and they say it's no bigger than a shoebox or smaller, and if that's the case, then you should let us have that. The rest of it, for security reasons, definitely do what you got to do. Our government needs to do their job and protect us. We're the ones that need protecting, and the government needs to be open and honest about certain things. But when it comes to security, I stand with them on that part. But there's no reason why we can't have that free energy or 0-point energy that we've been talking about, and others too. So I don't know. So that's my take on what's going on. I do again want to thank Melissa Sims for helping me get a warm welcome to the PA MUFON group on Facebook, and a shout out to everyone in that group. I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll be posting more in there. So any updates that I get, I'll post on the group, and obviously I'll put it up on a video here on YouTube also. So with that said, I just wanted to get that clip out to you and emphasize that clip again is not being seen by the human eye, and look at the activity in that clip. It was amazing, and it was from a camera with a low light filter, and thanks to Scanner Guy 1968. And definitely check out his channel. He's got a lot of good stuff, and he uses professional equipment, and because he can use those cameras to see things that we can't, I think that's amazing. So be sure to check him out. And if you're new here, I appreciate it if you subscribe. I'll be uploading more videos. I'm working on another one, but I just need to get this clip out to you right away. So thanks for watching. Give me a thumbs up, leave some comments, have any images or videos you'd like to share. There are emails in the description. Feel free to send them there, and we'll feature it here on the Human Spectrum. All right, that's all I have for today from the Human Spectrum. Have a good day or night wherever you are. Take care.